Good day. This is Carla. It's September the 1st. I do not know what time it is. I have not that long ago woken up and then the spirits got to talking to me. Today is Memorial Day and they got to talking to me about soldiers, veterans specifically. If you are a veteran of any military branch in these here United States, I am not an expert on anything, okay? I'm not an expert on military stuff. I'm not an expert on Social Security stuff. I'm only an expert in Carla, okay? What I was told was for every soldier that has passed away, which is not surprising, and I'm sure a lot of you about know this or have had some type of idea, inkling of this. But for every soldier that passes away, the government gets a nice amount of money while the family gets nothing. The government gets a nice check. But what's more fucked up, it's not just a one-time payment. The government has been getting, I don't want to say monthly, but the government gets stipends like they just knocked off of the soldiers that pass away. And it's not, again, it's not a one-time thing. It's a reoccurring thing. The amount, I don't know. So I'm not even about to lie to you and say it's this and this and this and this and this and that. But that was one thing. The other thing for the veterans that are still here, veterans that may have been injured, discharged honorably, or just you did your time and now you retired. Y'all get Social Security. For some of you that do, because I'm probably all of y'all don't, because y'all probably opt out or some bullshit reason as to why you don't qualify. You know. But anyway, for those veterans that get Social Security benefits from being in the service, you're not getting all of your benefits. When you signed the paperwork to receive your Social Security, it's fine print within the fine print. Excuse me. And it's the way that it's worded, you would not know exactly what the fuck it is unless you know exactly what the fuck it is. So you wouldn't even know to look for it because you trust in the Social Security attorney, or you trust in your attorney. They did tell me the Social Security attorneys, the ones that they reason they say they're going to fight for you to get everything is because the more you get, the more they get, the more the government gets. So if they get you approved for, or you get your Social Security approved, and your Social Security is $2,000 a month, technically it should be $3,000, but the government is getting $1,000. And they write the paper up they write up your paperwork that way, so you won't know that it's actually $1,000 that you're supposed to be getting. But because you served, it's like, and you came back, whether you came back injured or whatever, the government is still getting paid off of you. The government is still getting paid off of the deceased soldiers, while the families got nothing, get nothing. It's crazy. All I know is this is the download that I got. And I'm giving you the message. So to any new veterans and you are applying for the benefits, read reread. If you don't understand it, look it up. Google this shit until you got a complete understanding. And I know I'm guilty of it myself. I'm not a veteran, but I do get what I get. Okay. And because of my health, my situation, I I did. I didn't read the fine print. I trusted the lawyer and said okay, you know. And again, I'm telling you this because that's saying that what I'm saying applies to me, because they said specifically military. They specifically said this is happening to military vets. But you still, no matter what it is, my advice is to always read the fine print within the fine print, within the fucking fine print, especially when you're dealing with the government. Especially when you're dealing with the government. The government ain't nothing but the devil dressed up nice and pretty. It ain't even that pretty. I said it. I'm probably gonna get flagged for the shit. I don't even care. Because I'm not lying. The government ain't nothing but the devil. So, we all are guilty of signing some type of contract with the motherfucking devil, aka the government. So, to the veterans out there, first of all, thank you. Thank you. If nobody else has told you ever, thank you. Because y'all put y'all literal lives on the line. Y'all sacrificing yourselves for the betterment of y'all families as well as other families here. I'm grateful. My youngest daughter, her father, he fought. He's a vet. Grateful. I didn't even know him when he was in the service, but I'm still grateful for his service. I'm still grateful for it because I'm still able to walk around free. I'm grateful for it because our daughter is able to walk around free. I'm grateful for it because my oldest daughter is able to walk around free. Even if it ain't. You get what I'm saying? 747 was just on the timer. I keep hearing that. Something about a plane. A big ass plane. That's a side note. I don't know. Whatever. But anyway, thank y'all for y'all service. I appreciate it. Again, if you ain't heard it from nobody else today, yesterday, it ain't got to be Veterans Day. It ain't got to be Labor Day. It ain't got to be a Memorial Day or a special fucking day to tell somebody that served this country, thank you. They should hear those words every fucking day. It should not be one soldier that fought in any fucking branch of the army that's hungry, homeless, or struggling in any form. That's my own personal opinion. Because what they did, they should be walking around this motherfucker like damn near kings and queens. Because we still have a lot of our shit because they sacrificed themselves. They put themselves up on the chopping block, not knowing if they was going to come back to see their families or not. So they should get that every fucking day. These motherfuckers should be walking around on red carpets and having stars and shit on Hollywood's Walk of Fame. Because they actually did some shit. Don't judge me because my hair is looking a mess up under this head. But anyway, judge me if you want to. I don't give a fuck. I'm still cute. So if it's somebody in your family, somebody you know, and they served in the military, I wouldn't give a fuck if it was the Reserve, Coast Guard, whatever. They served. Tell them thank you. Buy them a coffee. Get them a donut. Just tell them fucking thank you. And if they're okay with it, Give them a hug. I don't. All I can give you is a hug, and I just want to hug you and say thank you for protecting my family, and you don't even fucking know me. You served in this military for this fucked up ass country. Thank you. Simple as that. But that's my opinion. Again, that's my opinion, how I feel when it comes down to that. But to the veterans, if you've been feeling like something ain't right with your money and how your money coming from the government and shit like that, and you not tripping. You're not tripping. You're not tripping. But at the same time, the way they did that shit, they made it legal. You signed the paperwork, it ain't much you can do, unfortunately. But you ain't tripping. They fucked you over in more ways than one. Not just your money. Fighting for this motherfucking country, too. 11/11 is on the timer. But, yeah, that's what they told me this morning as I was sitting here getting ready to roll up my happiness and light it. That's what I was getting. So I just recorded it. I'm just recording. I ain't pulling no cards. I'm not in my office, as you can tell. And then it's fucking Monday. The building ain't even open today. But because of the holiday. But yeah, just know you're not tripping. You're not tripping. You should be getting more than what you're receiving. Yes, the government is still getting paid off of you. Getting paid off of you. And to the families that have lost soldiers, loved ones, my condolences. And I know sometimes they come back, but they don't. So again, to those families that lost their loved ones, whether it was over there or when they came back, however it is, my condolences. And I'm sorry that if you didn't know that I'm telling you this shit, but they telling me it's just information that need to be known. No, you cannot do anything legally about it because they put it in the paperwork. It's just they worded it to a point where you wouldn't know what the fuck it means. But they put it in the paperwork, but it's buried in sections. So one section is going to have it in there, then another section will have another piece, and so on and so forth. But it's all fucking legal, which is fucked up. So thank y'all again for serving this fucking country. But if you are thinking about signing up for the military, any branch, you might want to rethink. You might want to rethink it. It's nothing wrong with wanting to protect your country. There's nothing wrong with wanting to protect your family, the people that live in the country. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But at this point, especially this time, no, fuck that. No, we not people. I'm saying people, especially that look like me, are not valued. We are not human beings ain't shit. Human beings ain't shit. When it comes down to money and power, you ain't shit. If you ain't got the money, you ain't got the power. So human beings ain't shit to the government. So think about that before you go signing your life over to these motherfuckers. Literally, when you sign that shit to enlist, you signing your life over to them. As well as your financial shit too. And yes, there's people that's been in the military and they doing great, they doing good, they got the rankings and everything like that. But are they doing great and good mentally? They might have that shit financially, but mentally, are they okay? Because all of them sergeants and all of them majors or whatever the fuck you call them, because again, I don't know all the terminology. I'm not an expert in anything but me. You think they got them? Some of them, yes, some of them did solely get their rankings based on their merit. Based on their merit. But I'm about to tell you the difference because I'm repeating what they telling me. I'm about to tell you the difference between those who got that shit just solely off their merit and the ones who got that shit based on what they was willing to do. To get. Okay? The ones that got that shit based off solely nothing but their merit. Pay attention to how their life is now. Pay attention to the things that they are doing currently in their life. If they are no longer serving, they're retired, however. Pay attention to how they move in their life. And some of them could have came out and they started their own business and everything like that, and they got that shit on their own merit. I'm not talking about those ones. I'm not talking about the ones that came out and they thrived outside of anything military, okay? I'm talking about the ones that was up there in ranking, and they come out and these motherfuckers walking around like they kings and queens. They don't show no signs of no type of trauma or anything like that. Like ever. And again, I'm not an expert. When I was in school, when I was in high school, yeah, I wanted to join the Coast Guard. I did because I wanted to get the fuck out of where I was living, and I figured that was going to be the quickest, fastest way. Unfortunately, I ain't going to even say unfortunately. Fortunately for me, I couldn't go. Asthmatic, I couldn't go. And had been newly diagnosed and shit. I want to say maybe 6 months to a year before my senior year. But anyway, so I'm not an expert. I don't know how this shit works. But I'm telling you what they telling me. So those that had that high ranking sergeant majors and all of that shit, and they got all of the medals and shit across they shirts or jackets, whatever. Again, no disrespect. I just don't know the proper terminology. And they appear to never have anything wrong with them. They're doing government shit and all of that. Government shit. Because they in on it. They're in on it. Period. But then you got the ones that got that shit based on their own merit. They are not, I'm trying to think. They showing me a guy. He's a muscular guy. And I want to say like a bounty. He looked like he could be a bounty hunter or a police officer or somebody, because he got on, I don't want to say it's tactical gear or even SWAT or something like that. But I'm seeing a guy. He's light brown complexion, not a white guy, but I want to say light brown, medium brown complexion. Bald head. Like I said, I can't see his face. Bald head, and he has a muscular stature. He's standing there. Whatever it is that he's doing, the energy that I'm feeling is a protective energy. But I can also like feel and hear the insecurities inside of this dude, right? This dude could have been the one who got all of his shit based on his merit. Like, he ain't take no shortcuts. He ain't take no bribes. He just got everything he did based off of his fucking hard work, honesty, and merit. He's not rubbing elbows with the politicians. This motherfucker ain't living in this big ass house. He ain't got a quote unquote supermodel or some superstar woman or man on his arm. Okay? This motherfucker looks like he ready to take down some shit. But in a way of, you fucked with the wrong ones and now I'm coming for you. Not on some, I'm just out here off the ziggity boom. It's like this motherfucker on a mission. I know it was you. I'm coming for you and you only. Beeline. Pay attention to motherfuckers that's like that. Don't necessarily have to be a bounty hunter, but those ones that put in that work and got that shit based on their own merit, no shortcuts and shit like that. Them the motherfuckers, again, their name should be on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But watch out for them because they know a lot more than they speak on. They might not always display their traumas, but you can tell they got trauma. And you can tell that they are managing it and they're taking care of themselves and they're not letting that trauma get to them. But the right thing will set them off. And that right thing is when you do something wrong and you causing some harm to someone else. You can fuck with them all day long. They'll brush that shit off. They ain't gonna give a fuck. Yeah, whatever. You saying that shit, whatever. But in the back of their mind, they know, nigga, I could just snap my fingers and I will break you. I could end you with a snap of my finger, so you ain't worth that. But you fucking with this kid, whether this kid belong to me or not. You fucking with this elderly person, whether I know them or not. I'm about to snap my fingers. That's the type of veteran right there you want to look out for. You want to help. You want to do shit for. Not the ones that's walking around flashing that shit because they did not get all of them medals on their own merit. They working with the insiders of the government. That's why they got all of this fancy shit. And it seemed like, oh, and oh shit, they just said a lot of them do the recruiting. I'm about to stop talking. So that's the message that I got for you. I hope it helped. Take care, be blessed, and have the day.